Greetings, my fellow intellectuals and bookworms. Today I have a special treat for you, an unscheduled video. Today we'll be having a new book review. Today we'll be reviewing this book, Fast Food Nation, which, if you've not heard of it, is a very popular book, particularly with health teachers. Pretty sure several of my health teachers have read it. Miss Chase and probably that Southern lady who was idiotic, who I had for 1 year in health. Story about her, even though California requires comprehensive sex ed, she said, "I'm going to teach you abstinence-based sex education." And I said, "But that scientifically has been proven not to work." She said, "Fuck you, I'm doing it anyway." Even after insulting her and stuff, I still got a A in that class. Funny, one of my funny school stories I probably haven't shared. Anywho, she had a really thick southern accent and she talked like this. Like, "I'm from the South and I believe in abstinence education." Friend of mine cursed in front of her and she complained. But anywho, Fast Food Nation, basically, it's an expose in the style of like what Upton Sinclair wrote in the mid-1900s. It's like the 1990 version of it. A journalist investigates basically the fast food industry. So they investigated where the meat came from, violations in food safety regulations, violations in meat packing industry standards, including some very shocking allegations that were true. For example, in a meat packing plant in Nebraska, they used illegal immigrants and supervisors would give them speed or methamphetamine to get them to work double shifts. The drugs were free as long as they did double shifts. Then they also talked about essentially the detrimental effects that fast food has had on American society. It's very interesting, and the political ramifications of it. So, that's your basic synopsis. Now I'm going to go into some other things. So, basically, fast food in this country essentially grew up because of the suburbs, which, if you don't know my opinion on it, I live in the suburbs, but I don't particularly think they're that great. For example, I'm not sure if I've done a video on it, but if not, I probably will soon, called The Day Oil Peaks. Peak oil, which is going to happen in the future when oil production reaches exactly half of what we have and will start to decline while demand increases, will create a situation in which oil prices will rise. If oil prices rise beyond, $4 a gallon or more, the entire suburban way of life will collapse. And a lot of people are already on the edge already. For example, I read something that some poor families who live in the suburbs because they can't afford to live in the city are spending half of their income just to commute into the city for work. So, clearly with peak oil, it's unsustainable. So, we spend $1 trillion building the suburbs, and they're going to come crashing down and be useless. But that's not really the point. The point is, in this book, that they also exposed how synthetic flavors and other stuff were added to food. Expose there, how fast food has encouraged major companies to consolidate the industry and what have you. They've gone over how. But basically, the main takeaway from this book is that we spent so much effort trying to cause food prices to decrease with fast food and cheaper grocery that we never really thought about the effects of doing so. So we wanted cheap food more than we cared about the consequences. And the consequences are meat is produced by underpaid workers who are in this country illegally, with safety violations regularly occurring. Food safety violations do occur, and even when they're not violated, we've weakened food safety regulations to such an extent that I'm surprised we don't have more food safety problems. Like recently, we had to recall every single piece of romaine lettuce in this country, and this is the fifth time it happened. They traced it back to a farm, but they couldn't find the source of contamination, so there was concern that it would happen again. Moral of the story, don't eat lettuce. But basically, the main takeaway is without the suburbs, you wouldn't have fast food. And another thing that they go over is this government's fucking retarded policy. It's called student laborer. It allows companies to pay student workers as low as like $4.50, I believe, for the first 90 days of work, mainly used by fast food industry. So my final review on this is I'm going to give it basically 5 out of 5 stars. Great book. I recommend you buy it. Fast Food Nation. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so. This is Sean Hartnett from the channel Sean Hartnett signing out on another book review. Sorry for being longer than normal. Alright, bye.